I have to say, I've been watching the past several days with some amusement. US President Donald Trump declared a tariff war on everybody. Some retaliated or threatened retaliation. Some tried to appease him. Then he added another 50% on top of everything else on China's exports to the United States. World markets tumbled, the gold price dropped. Those who have money invested there, myself included, have been cursing a little, or a lot. The amusement comes from a sense of calmness I feel when I talk to my friends and people here in China, especially when it's juxtaposed with the doom and gloom headlines I see every morning. If you watch the news, you would think that everyone on Earth is panicking.
U.S. stocks are tumbling.
More than 1,200 protests were scheduled nationwide,
rattling markets around the world and fueling recession fears.
Investor in the stock market is trying to figure out what the heck's going on here.
But this is what I hear the most from my conversations. We knew this was coming. Trump was clear about it long ago. We were going to enact countermeasures because if you do this to China, you should expect to be slapped back. And third, in the war of attrition, you don't outlast China. America will buck first. And it's that third point I'd like to talk about. I can appreciate why some of you may think it's a bit nationalistic to make that statement. It does have that kind of a tone about it. But there are two sides to it. You can get nationalistic by being angry. That's what's happening in the United States. Or you can get nationalistic by being confident. That's what's going on here in China. Here's a reason for that confidence. China makes things. It's the only country in the world with industries across all categories in the UN industrial classification. That affords China the ability to produce nearly everything domestically, if necessary, without having to rely on imports. It also gives China a central role in global manufacturing. China accounts for nearly 1/3 of global manufacturing output. It has been in the lead for 15 years consecutively. That's accompanied by a horde of highly skilled workers with decades of manufacturing technical expertise. First in the world in terms of the size of talent pool, some 400,000 high-tech enterprises, and the largest middle-class consumption market in the world. If you want to know how desirable that is, consider this. The Trump administration is willing to start a global tariff war simply because it wants America to be able to do the same. Although the consensus is that the US is not going to get it anytime soon, if ever. New York Times columnist Thomas L. Friedman published this on April 7, 2025. Here's what he wrote. After 2 trips to China in the last 4 months, I've been trying to say this every way I know how. Folks, you just don't understand. What is coming out of China today is not just cheaper and faster. It's cheaper, faster, better, and smarter. This engine is the product of decades of massive government investments in education, infrastructure, and research. While China was building that, America's biggest new industry was political polarization and getting its children addicted to TikTok. Yes, they don't understand. Just listen to how Vice President Vance described China.
We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture.
I don't know if this is really his view or if he's just being a good little soldier for the administration. Either way, that's telling. They don't get China. They don't understand the strength and the resilience of the Chinese. They don't understand what the Chinese are capable of or the determination to let nothing stand in the way of making China great. Meanwhile, America's ignorance is on full display in front of the whole world. The Chinese people enjoy American products and services. Starbucks, McDonald's, Disney, Tesla. We like to have them in our daily lives, but that doesn't mean we can be bullied into giving away our interests. Trade disputes will only be solved at the negotiating table. If the United States thinks mounting tariffs could get us there, well, all I can say is, good luck with that.